Om Saganavavatu Saganau Bhunaktu Saga Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavachitamastu ma Vitvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Samatta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunabhayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram.
ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला। अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः। पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम्। लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरहः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। ॐ
सेनानीनामहं स्कन्दः सरसामस्मि सागरः. So Krishna continues wherever his the special glories one can see. So he starts with Purodasam cha mukyam mam vidhipartha brihaspatim. So among the priests, the Indra's priest known as Brihaspati. Brihaspati is understand that I am Brihaspati. Who selects Brihaspati? See, actually, when you say priest, he is supposed to be the best among priests because he is the priest of Indra. So, who the leader of the Devas. So, he must be really. Oh, I don't know what. So, he must be really, the one rather excellent.
Some background problem.
Okay. I think I must put it in, what is that? No, if in that I won't be able to talk. So the Brihaspati being the best among priests, that means what? He has studied all Vedas, Vedanta and everything. So he is almost a realist person. So Krishna says, I am Brihaspati among priests. So he chooses the best one. That means who is a realist person, he is almost like him. So he says Brihaspati. Then Senaham, that means of the commanders of army, I am Skanda. So Skanda is Subramanya. So Skanda, that meaning itself, that means Skanda means he has flown out. Actually, Skanda, he has come out of his Shiva's, the third eye. So he is not a normal person. So right from the beginning, so he is also like a Brahma or Brahman. So he knows he is a realized person. So he quotes Skanda. That the name itself shows that he is not born like any other people. He just appeared from Shiva's third eye. So Krishna says, I am Muruga or Subramanya or here Skanda. And the third one is among water bodies, I am Sagara. That is, I am the ocean among water bodies. See, why he mentions, like that, he started about 3 verses earlier and goes on telling. Because earlier, I think in verse 10, Krishna says, if one all the time doing dhyana, in dhyana, thinking about me and spend the time, a lot of time, I will give them buddhi yogam and make them realize me. Okay. So how to do that dhyana? Arjuna asked Krishna, I think in verse 17. So tell me, if you tell me clearly, if you simply say, think about me. See, Krishna is like, it's Brahman, no? So there are 2 aspects of Brahman. It is with form, Saguna Brahman, and Nirguna Brahman is without form. And in fact, that is the reality. It is what a non-dual presence is called. We call it Brahman. It is neither this or not that, without any properties. Then only you can become the world and all. And as we saw earlier, if water has got some color, whatever color you put, it won't become that color. Because it is colorless and tasteless, it can be made into any other color, either chocolate or green or blue or whatever it is. If it has got already some color, it can't become that color which we want to add to that. So similarly, the Brahman means without any this one, totally non-dual presence. So how to do rather dhyanam in that Brahman? How to contemplate on that? That's what Arjuna asked. Tell me specifically your glory. Give some examples so that I can contemplate. So he starts among this. I am so and so like that. So here he starts with Brihaspati and Skanda, and the third is Sagara. The Sagara, when we say, all the three are like that. I am just taking that example as Sagara because the other two we can understand. It has got a human form. Whereas Sagara, that is ocean, if you take, we must be able to rather understand. We can understand. So, and we can contemplate on that. Our mind is like that. So, Viveka Chudamani, Sloha 499. So it's a beautiful one. Why I am telling this is one can contemplate how to think, how to go about. We need some, so a description. So that is 499 sloka of Viveka Chudamani. It's a very beautiful one. Agashavalle pavidhora goham adityavat bhasya vilakshanoham aharyavan nitya vinischa ambodivat para vivarjitoham. What it says is, I am, that means I, real I. I am like the sky, which is totally untainted. The sky, the space, totally untainted. Even though all these things are coming, but it is untainted all the time. Then I am like the sun, self-luminous. That is, I don't get that light because of something else. It is all the time, it is luminous. Then, like the mountain, I am unshakable. Then, the fourth one, like the ocean, I am unbounded. So, I am like that means what? This is my real, nature. That means I am like that. But because of our ignorance, slowly, we think that I am the body or mind depending on the situation. So we are affected by when we interact with the world. Every time, either you are worried or sometimes you are very joyful and all. So the purpose of now learning Gita is to understand and apply. That application is very important. Actually, before taking up Gita or any other scriptures, we should have that qualification. That's what most of us know, of course, that sadhana chatushtayam. One should develop. That means what is there were two important aspects of that is Viveka and Vairagya. Viveka is, of course, we know that is the Atma, Anatma, to differentiate which is Atma and which is Anatma. It is when we go near and near, it is not so easy. Otherwise, we can say the door is Anatma, this is Anatma, whatever you see is Anatma. But when we go nearer, the mind and the real I, they are so close, but they are just opposite. This we have seen many times. So there only this, Viveka is very much required. We must be able to understand. Then Vairagya, that is more important. Vairagya is what? Freedom from longing. That this, to live like that, in fact, especially we people, now we are almost like this, where we have discussed earlier also. It's a vanaprastham like thing, situation. Even in Vanaprastham, if you go to a lonely place in some small forest and all, you have other problems. Whereas here, everything is fine. Absolutely no, everything is taken care. So this is a much better Vanaprastha. Here, we must be able to spend time for contemplation and to understand and realize. So the time, we have to spend time and try to apply whatever we learn. So the Sagara, that example is mainly for that. See, when we have studied earlier, 5th chapter, 20th verse, Na priharshed priyam prapya, it starts like that. That means when we are successful, when some job is done well, don't get elated. And when it is not, the result is not so good, don't get depressed. This is a simple thing which we can follow. So we must try to follow this sort of thing. This was 5th chapter itself, it is there. So some such thing we have to take up and try to implement. Or we and daily we chant this also. What is that? Kaya namacha manasendriya buddhyatmanava. He says prakrideya svabhava. Because of the svabhava of prakriti, the three gunas, things are being done. So it has to be Narayana samarpayami, means that it is for the sake of Narayana. That means what? Naturally things are just happening. I am not involved. I am not the doer. That sort of thing. So this we study, but we must be able to apply. That's why the 5th chapter, this is difficult. Whereas when you say if we are, don't get elated if it's successful, or if the job is a failure, don't get depressed. This is not very difficult to follow. At least this much we must be able to, so that we can start the that is following Gita and applying it. So when we say I am like ocean, means so how do we do it when some problem comes? Okay, that depression. So immediately this sort of slokas, as I told, that 499 of Viveka Chudamani, when we say I am like space, I am like sun, I am like the ocean. When we chant this, really, especially when something happens which we don't like, instead of worrying on that, if this is chanted, actually this is a help. When we chant, we understand that I am not that, I am this. My mind is like that. Actually, I am not affected. This practice slowly will take us to that level, and we can see that we are not affected by any of these things. So this chanting of such things is very important. That's how we can apply. Otherwise, there is no point in just knowing the meaning. Especially for us, we don't have much time. So it is actually urgent issue. We must reach that or understand that I am all the time like that. It is not reaching actually. All that I am like that. That understanding is, we have come out far away from that. So we must be able to go rather faster by taking the help of the satsang, especially on Gita. Every sloka we can make use of and be in that situation all the time. So this is, in fact, that's why every week we discuss about this, and after that it should be continued in some way or other to the at least minimum possible this one. Then only we can feel the effect in us. So the Abhyasa and Vairagya is very, very important, which we saw in, I think, 6th chapter. So Krishna himself, he says, it is not very easy, but you have to do Abhyasa and that Vairagya. Vairagya means even though some other attraction comes, see, we can do things. It doesn't mean that you can't go for a music program and this. We must do things not for getting tripti or happiness, because we are all the time happy and not santushti. we are all the time tripti that is there. So you do it, not for getting that. So this difference is really a lot. So if I do this only, I'll be happy. No, because I am happy, I am doing this. Go to any program which we, especially when it comes here, we may not try to, oh, we must see that, we must see. So many things are there. That attraction will naturally stop if we have this kind of thinking, and we must achieve whatever is discussed here. Even for Arjuna, actually, Krishna could have, just in one or two words or slokas, he could have convinced him. For example, his problem was expressed in first chapter, if I remember, 45th verse. 45th verse. He says, just for the sake of Raja, that Sukham and Bhoga, why should I kill all the people, especially my grandfather, my teacher, and my cousins and all. So that is his problem. Even though he was, as we have seen many times, he is not an ordinary person. He has, he has contemplated and done dhyana, tapas, and he has even met Pasupati, Parameshwaran. So for him, this question appeared, and Krishna, if you see 18th chapter, I think 17th sloka, if you see that alone is sufficient. Actually, you would understand. But why all these other chapters and the slokas are there means slowly. It is not the purpose of probably of Veda Vyasa is it's not only for Arjuna or many others who are interested in understanding themselves. That's why so many slokas, Samananda slokas are there. So we must pick up at least whichever we can follow and apply it. That is very, very important. And for that we must spend time. Apply means what? At least after this satsang is only for an hour or so. But afterwards, whenever, in fact, we have a lot of time. So spend on that and read further connected slokas, either here or some other scriptures like Vivek Chudamani, and understand or discuss with like-minded people and get to know. Actually, this is very, very important all the time. And we must remember that we don't have much time. So otherwise the entire life is wasted. And our real purpose is to be to be peaceful, after understanding everything. So for that we must work. Right from childhood we have done enough to be peaceful and in a place. That is, we studied, we got degree, we got a job, got married, got children. Now everything is practically over for most of us. At this time, we must spend time on this and do contemplation and understand and try to be in that, understand that we are all the time unaffected. That understanding is very important. Which is affected is not me. That sort of thing. That's why this slokas, everyone, he calls Brihaspati, Skanda, and Sagara. See, all the three, earlier two they are just realized people, and the Sagara is our mind, it shows. So it cannot be affected. So many types of, the rivers with all dirty things are that coming, but I'm not affected. It is our earlier sloka also, second chapter. Apuryamanamatal pratiksham, it is there. So I am totally unaffected. I am like Sagara. This sort of thinking and try to be like that is very important. That's what this particular sloka 24 is, is here for us to understand. Hari Om, Jai Guru.
There is one more significant meaning why Lord Krishna has said Sarasamasmi Sagaraha. Sarasamasmi Sagaraha. In Bhagavatam, there is a episode we have to go on trying till we achieve what we want. And for that, we call it as Bhagirata Prayatna. Bhagirata Prayatna means that Bhagirata did not achieve success till he got that Ganga to come to the earth. Then it was taken to Patar Loka to make his brothers alive. But he had a lot of hurdles in between. And that hurdles, various hurdles, unsurmountable hurdles. But he was able to cross all that hurdles, and ultimately he got the Ganga to come to the earth. Even at every place he has to make it austerity, tapas. And only because of that tapas he was able to achieve this. And that is why Lord Krishna has picked up Sagara. Sarasa must be Sagaraha. So I don't want to go into the story, but if somebody is interested, this Bhagirath Prayatna story will give you what all hurdles he has to cross till he was able to get the Ganga to the earth. Now we go to sloka number 25. As Natarajan rightly said, we are talking about the vibhutis, manifestation of Bhagavan. We can only see the manifestations in this world. Whatever we see, they are all Bhagavans. It is very easy to say everything is Bhagavan. The moment you open your eyes, what you see is Bhagavan. We see the sun in the morning. We say it is Bhagavan. That's why we are asking, the Vedas say that you please wake up before the sunrise and welcome the sun. So here he is giving 75 pradhanyata, important ones, for us to pick any one of them which is suitable to us. It's like the TV channels. There are hundreds of channels now. So it is up to us to select what we want to see. So some people will look at the sports, some will look at the news, some will look at the scientific approach, some will look at the geography, some will look at Artha channels to see some religious programs. Some will look at sports, cricket, even in sports, cricket, football, tennis. So similarly here, he has picked up 75 vibhutis which are available to us. It is all practical things. And pick any one of them which is appealing to you so that you can concentrate on that and meditate on that and then see Bhagavan in that. That is the idea. So now he talks about, and there is no order here. Whatever it comes to his mind, he talks about it. See, for example, now in the 25th, Maharshinam Brigu Raham. I am Brigu among the rishis. Giramas Ekam Aksharam. Among the words, I am Ekam Aksharam. That is Om. Yajnanam Japayajñosmi. Amongst the various japas, I am Japa Yajna. I will explain what is Japa Yajna. And then immediately he goes to Savaranam Himalayaka. Savaranam Himalayaka. It's a vast mountain, Himalayas, and snow-clad mountain. So now you can see, he talks about Maharshi, he talked about words, he talks about Yajna, Japa Yajna, then he talks about Stavarana. Now we can take one by one. Bhrigu. Why he has picked up Bhrigu? What is the speciality on Bhrigu? Bhrigu is one of the 7 rishis which we have seen on the 10th, sloka number 10.6. In the 10.6 we say, Maharshya Saptasurve Chatvaro Manavastada. So Maharshya Saptasurve. Among the 7 rishis, the Bhrigu is number 1. Bhrigu. Why he has picked up Bhrigu? There is a story behind. You know, we have Trimurtis. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Trimurtis. All the 3. One is the creator, the other is the protector, and the third is Layakarana. Everything goes into that one. So Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. So there was an argument in Devaloka, among the rishis, who is the most patient one, who can tolerate everything, patient one. And they were looking at which rishi will go and examine these 3 people. It's going to be an examination. So Bhrigu Maharshi said, I will go. And then first he went to Brahma and he kicked him. And Brahma got very angry. And since Brahma is the father of Bhrigu, so he tolerated and he asked him to go. Then he went to Rudra, Shiva. Shiva is already an angry person. And then that means these 2 are ruled out. They failed. The third one was Vishnu. And Vishnu was lying on the lap of Mahalakshmi. And this Bhrigu Maharshi went and kicked on the right side of the heart. All the devas, they were all watching what will happen, because this is the most indecent way of behaving. And then immediately Vishnu woke up. He saw the love of Bhrigu inside. He didn't see Bhrigu as a rishi, but he saw inside him the love and affection. And instead of scolding him or something, so he caught hold of the leg of the Vishnu, Bhrigu, and then asked Bhrigu, did your leg hurt? Because my bones are very strong. Did it hurt your leg? And then he was looking after this thing. That is why in the Puranas we say, since he is the most patient one, he didn't get angry. Even now, on the right side of the Mahavishnu, Srivatsangita Vakshasa. Srivatsa is a impression of his leg, and that Vishnu is still carrying. Srivatsa. Their name also Srivatsans are popular names. So this is one aspect. That is why he is a great man. Again, in the Taittiriya Upanishad, his father was Varuna. So Brahma wanted to, Bhrigu wanted to learn Brahmajnanam. So he approached his father Varuna. Pitaram Upasasara in Taittiriya Upanishad. How can I approach Brahma? Then Varuna told him, that you go to the Panchakosha Vivekam was actually explained in Taittiriya Upanishad, and finally he came to Ananda Swarupam. Brahman's Swarupam is Ananda. So that means Bhrigu is a knowledgeable Atma Jnanam. He has got Atma Jnanam. So because of these things, he got, Lord Krishna says, I am Bhrigu. Among the rishis, Maharshina Bhriguhu Aham. So you can see the glory of Bhrigu here, and that is why he has selected him. Then he says, Giramas Yekamaksharam. Gira means words. Lot of words are there. I am the Ekamaksharam. Ekamaksharam means Om. Why he has selected Om? He could have selected any names, So when I say a word mango, there is an object outside. When I say a book, an object is outside. So all the words denote some object. But when I chant Om, what is the object? Brahman. And Brahman is not an object. So that means that is why he has selected Om. And again, in the case of Om, we have this, it has 3 letters, 3 alphabets, A, U, M. Then how do you say Ekamaksharam? There are 3 alphabets. But normally in Sanskrit, Shastras and all that, they count only the vowels, A and U. That U is not counted. So that is why it is called again Ekamaksharam. In Mandukya Upanishad, which is talking only about what is Om, there he says, Omkara Vichara. There are only 12 mantras, and 5 mantras are dealing with only Omkara. Om ityetat aksharam idagam sarvam sasyo vyakhyanam. Om ityetat aksharam, the word Om, idagam sarvam, I will explain in detail, sasyo vyakhyanam. The details of that Om is what is discussed in Mandukya Upanishad. So Ekam Akshara means the only vowels are counted. And the beauty of Om is it can be used in all rituals. We are using it in all rituals. Om Shuklam Vardhana Vishnu, when we start any puja. Then in all the Parayanams, Sahasranamas, Lalita Sahasranamam or Vishnu Sahasranamam, we start with Om only. Everything, Om is preceded by each and every mantra. So that is why he has picked up Om, Lord Krishna. Again, in Upasana, we have Om. And in Jnanam also, we say Om. So that means Om is used both for Saguna Brahman and Nirguna Brahman. So it depends upon whether we do Karma Yoga or Upasana Yoga or Jnana Yoga. In all these, Om is there. And the another thing is, we always say in any temple, you go for do Archana. And they call it Ashtotra Archana, 108 names. How this 108 came? 108 names is Ashtotra Archana. If it is 308, it is called Trishadi. And if it is 1008 names, it is called Sahasra. Now, if you see in Sanskrit or in most of the alphabets in various languages, we start with A. And in Sanskrit, the end letter is Ha. So if you count the number of letters from A to Ha, there are 54 letters. A to Ha, 54 letters. So if you have a Japamala with 108 beads, so first you start from the top and you come down, Avarohana. And then again after the 54th bead, we are going up, Arohana. So that is why Arohana had 54, Avarohana 54. So these 54 into 2, 108. That's how that 108 name has come. These are all explained in the Shastras. And the Om does not have any linguistic preference. This Om can be used by any language, anywhere in the thing. It is not attached to only Hindus, or it is Islamism or Christianism. No, it can be used by all the people. So because of these various greatness of this, and again, Brahmaji, like we churn the curd and then bring out butter. Similarly, Brahmaji churned Omkara, and that's how that Vedasara came. So the subtle points of the Vedas are the Vedasara, and that is why it is represented by Om. Again, in our Gayatri Mantra, the Vedas are voluminous. It is very difficult for us to study the Vedas during our lifetime. So they picked up only Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, 3 words. Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, 3 words. But even then, people thought it is too difficult, 3 letters. So why don't you bring into 1? That's how he came into waking state, dream state, and sleep state. A is waking state, U is dream state, and is called Sushupti, sleep. And after three states, we have one state called Turiya. Turiya means it is as good as you are with Brahman, consciousness, Samadhi. So Vedanta Sara. So you can see what all implications are there if you go on analyzing the just one Ekakshara. So that is why Lord Krishna says, amongst the Giramas Ekamaksharam. Now the next one is Yajnanam Japa Yajñosmi. Yajnanam Japa Yajñosmi. So among the japas, I am Japayajna. What is Japayajna? How do we do meditation? Japa. Japa is repetition of one name, Bhagavan's name. We call Rama or Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namah Shivaya. That means according to each individual's Ishta Devata, we can pick up that name. And these names are also given as Diksha by gurus. You approach a jnani and ask for a bijam, we call it seed, for our japa. Then they will give you that jiva, that seed. It's called Brahma Bijam. If it comes from a guru, it has a life. So Brahma Bijam. Again, the meaning for japa. If you want to know the significance of japa, it has got two words, ja and pa. Ja and pa. In Sanskrit, they say, Jakaro Janma Vichedaha. Jakaro Janma Vichedaha. That means the word Ja represents the end of samsara. The samsara is cut off completely. That means there is no more birth, rebirth, birth and death. You are liberated. And pakara papanashanam. Pakara papanashanam. So whatever sins you have committed in all these various periods of various janmas, so that will get completely destroyed. Janma papa karo. Tasmat japa iti uchyate budaihi. Janma papa hare asmat japa iti uchyate budaihi. So wise people call japa as ja samsaranashanam, pa papanashanam. That means you are totally liberated. But you have to do the japa in a sincere manner. It is not, casual. Oh, I am going to do japa for 15 minutes. Yes, you sit in with the mala and all that and start, rolling the beads. But at the same time, your mind is also rolling with other thoughts. So that is not called japa. Japa means you sit in one particular place and go on repeating that nama. That is called japa. And that too mentally. Mentally means efficacious. Because if I do it with my with sound, then it can disturb others. And it won't be that effective also. Because your eyes will be looking outside, your ears will be listening to something else. And bring all these things under your control. That is the japa, mental repetition. If I read one chapter of Gita, it is called Parayanam. So the difference between japa and Parayanam, I am reading Bhagavad Gita, I am reading Sundarakanta or Mahabharata or Bhagavatam, but they are Parayanam. Whereas japa has the quality of, it can remove all the papas as well as your samsara, janma vichedaha. Why it is called japa yajna? See, that's also a very important point. Japa yajna. And before we go to Japayajna, why in this Kali Yuga, in our situation now, why can't we follow Karma Kanda and do rituals, prescribed rituals, and then attain moksha? But there are a lot of obstacles now for japa, for the rituals and all that. So if you look at it, all the people follow japa, meditation. But if I have to do some homas, yajnas in the house, so I should prepare a homa kunda. Then I have to collect all the articles, all the dravyams. Now, for example, ghee is very important for that. And then ghee, the price of ghee is so much. So that means a lot of expenses to be incurred. And then you have to offer dakshina to the priest who is going to conduct the homas. So that means it is a very expensive one. Second is we do himsa. Himsa means some rituals require other items. So dravya nasham. So when I offer something to the fire, that article is gone. And along with that, some insects or something also will come. So that means you are doing some ahimsa. Even with our own people, suppose you are aged person, and in most of the rituals you have to do namaskara. The Vadyar will say, namaskaram panne, or the panne, you get up from the seat or sit. So that all is, you can call it a himsa. Uneasiness, you can call it. So expenditure is not there. And japa can be done at any place. There is no need to have a fixed time or fixed this thing. It means when you are able to concentrate on japa, it's nothing like it. So economic reasons, health reasons, and how do we do japa? So japa means I have to give an order to my mind that I am going to do japa for the next 15 minutes or 30 minutes. Now be with me. The mind should be told that you don't wander here and there. Cooperate with me. And after 15 or 30 minutes, I will allow you to go wherever you want to go. In other words, right now, my mind is not under my control. My mind is controlled by outside items, my desires. My desires makes me go do this, do that. So I am a slave of the mind. That mind, we should convert it into an instrument. How do we so once it is instrument, then you need a karta to give instruction to that instrument. Come on, cut this, or do this, or do that. Say in our office and all that examples, we have an office boy. And the manager is going to listen to the office boy because the many places we have seen, because some managers are so lazy, so they will leave everything to the office boy. And that is why some of the secretaries and all that so powerful. That means the manager is not who doing his job, and he is now doing the job of that office boy. Similarly, our mind, once it becomes an instrument, then we will follow what Bhagavan says. That's why what has happened to Arjuna. Arjuna tried all these tricks in his hand to convince Lord Krishna that this war is a biggest heinous crime. All my relatives will be killed in this war. ultimately he has to surrender, because at that time his mind was the boss. And once he surrendered, then he told Krishna, you handle my mind the way you want to do. And that's how he got that liberation, jnana, that Brahma Jnanam he got, Brahma Vidya he got. So the most important part of this Japa Yajna is that we should be able to bring the mind under our control, and the mind should obey us. Not that we should go whatever the mind says. So Japa Yajna has got that much amount of that significance. It looks very simple. Oh, I will sit for 15 minutes, think only about this particular nama or whatever it is. But if you, in practice, it will be very difficult. Then why Brahma Japa is called a Yajna, Japa Yajna? If you listen to a Carnatic music, there will be a Shruti behind. And the musician is able to visualize that, hear that Shruti, that sound. And his music, if it has to be a good music, divine music, it has to follow the Shruti. Shruti is very important. In the case of violin, L. Subramanian, if any of you have heard him, he takes about 45 minutes to 1 hour to adjust the Shruti, because he is so subtle. Shruti is so subtle, he will be able to know whether Shruti is proper or not. That subtle mind, all our minds, subtle mind, that is the heart, where the Bhagavad is residing, he is all the time telling aham, 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 I. Unfortunately, we are not able to listen to that I, because we are preoccupied with our material objects. So this japa, mental recitation of a nama, if you do it very sincerely and faithfully and regularly, this nama will merge with that I. That is, the external japa will merge with that I, and then it becomes quiet. The external japa will go, only that I consciousness will remain. That is why Ramana Maharshi is all the time telling, find out who is that I. Who is that I? So we always say, I am tall, I am stout, I have this sickness. That is, you identify with the body. I have bad dream. Again, bad this thing, thought. I am right now angry, hatred, jealousy. It is again with the mind. I don't know. That is intellect. Where all these there is superimposed. That is, the consciousness is superimposed on various Sushma Shariram, Stula Shariram, and Karana Shariram. And that is the Jiva. So we should go and be with our original consciousness. So that is why it's called Japa Yajna. That ultimately, if I do a sincere meditation, I will become totally, what you call as, be with the consciousness. Classical example is Vatmiki Maharshi. He was Ratnagara, he was a robber. So that means even the greatest sinners, with the advice of Narada, he took up this Japa Yoga and he realized the Atman, consciousness. So Japa Yajna is not simple, sitting in one corner and go on reciting something, some nama, but at the same time the mind is outside you. So there is no integration at all. So the japa is, so if I do a japa properly, Mirabai, she was all the time, Lord Krishna, she got enlightenment. This is the secret of that. That is, japa should be made as a yajna, japa yajna. So that is why he says, Yajnanam Japa Yajñosmi. Now the time is up, so we'll continue in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyase. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.